Alright there guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I've got another cartoon video. This time it's about my favourite cartoon of all time, SpongeBob. But instead of reviewing something of SpongeBob, instead we're going to be talking more about Nickelodeon themselves, who of course broadcast SpongeBob. And how, over the last couple of years, the way they've treated the franchise after the very sad passing of the franchise's creator, Stephen Hillenburg, back in 2018. And since then, how Nickelodeon have really tried to change SpongeBob's quite a lot in their how they want the character to be since his passing. So I think we'll start off with Camp Coral. Now, some of you might not know what Camp Coral is. If you don't, that's fine. Basically, Camp Coral is a SpongeBob prequel that has 6 episodes and aired earlier this year. Back in like April time, I think. That's when it aired. And the reason why this is disrespectful from Nickelodeon in the first place is because Stephen Hillenburg said that he didn't want SpongeBob to have any like spin-off shows. He wanted the SpongeBob series to just be that and nothing else. No spin-offs, no nothing. No spin-off shows, just the one SpongeBob show. But, because of course, when he passed away in 2018, who was stopping Nickelodeon from making it? No one. And I think in like 2019, I think it was the first ever announcement of Camp Coral, and that SpongeBob was getting a spin-off show that, of course, is a prequel to the actual series, where all the characters are kids. Which, of course, doesn't even make sense, because SpongeBob and Sandy somehow have met when they were kids, but yet one of the first episodes of SpongeBob is where he meets Sandy. So they can't even get the continuity with the show right. Oh look, SpongeBob suddenly has already met Sandy when they were kids, which means the episode they met in the actual series in the first season actually doesn't mean anything anymore, because they'd already apparently met. That was the first case of Nickelodeon being like, well, Stephen Hillenburg's dead, so who's going to stop us from doing what we want to this franchise? Like, there's literally a meme within SpongeBob that perfectly explains what Nickelodeon have done. It's in the episode where Mr. Krabs is looking for the novelty soda drink hat, and he goes into that cemetery. And he says, when he finds Smithy, Warb, and Jägerman Jensen, he says, "Am I really going to defile this grave for money?" Of course I am! That meme literally shows perfectly what Nickelodeon have done. That is Nickelodeon basically saying, am I really going to defile Stephen Hillenburg's grave for money? Of course I am. And that is what they have done. And this is a big part of why a lot of people really don't like Nickelodeon anymore. Because of the way they've treated their greatest ever franchise that without Stephen Hillenburg, they would never have had in the first place. And all of the really old classic SpongeBob episodes from the very beginning, a lot of them are turning 22 years old now. About a month ago, the Krusty Krab Pizza episode turned 22 years old. That's how long it's been. And that was an episode when Stephen Hillenburg was still in charge. because he was in charge for the first 3 seasons, and then the 2004 movie, and then he stepped down after the movie, as he wanted the movie to be the end of SpongeBob. He wanted it to be 3 seasons long, big movie to finish off, and that be it. But because Nickelodeon love their money, they wanted to make more, and they've made a lot more since, and they're still making more episodes of SpongeBob now. The second time Nickelodeon decided to just do what they wanted to SpongeBob and ignore anything Stephen Hillenburg had said was actually in Pride Month of last year, 2020, when Nickelodeon announced that SpongeBob SquarePants is now part of the LGBTQ community. Basically implying that, they've decided, SpongeBob is gay now. Deal with it. Now, you see, if SpongeBob's sexuality had never been talked about by anyone who worked on SpongeBob before, maybe you could give them the benefit of the doubt. But the thing is, Stephen Hillenburg had already confirmed SpongeBob's sexuality 15 years earlier. In a 2005 interview he explained that SpongeBob is asexual. He has no sexual attraction to anybody. That was in 2005. Yet, 15 years later, Nickelodeon decide, how can we virtue signal to get more LGBT people watching SpongeBob? Oh, I know. Let's just announce on social media that SpongeBob's gay. That'll work. It probably didn't work because it's been happening for the last 4 or 5 years. Maybe we're accustomed to every single Western media company, for any franchise from the West, whether it's in the UK or the US, any company at all, during the month of June, change their logo to a rainbow one, to show we really care about LGBT pride, which is why we're changing our logo back to normal when July 1st hits. They do it every year, but there's at least a few. There'll always be a few LGBT people who fall for it, which is one of the reasons why they still do it, because it still works on a few people. But yeah, SpongeBob is not gay. He is asexual. I mean, who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to the man who created this franchise, and it would not be where it is today without him? Or the people that broadcast the show, who clearly don't care about anything Stephen Hillenburg has ever said, because they will just do whatever they want to the franchise, no matter whether he wanted them to do it or not. And now we have the third one. The most recent one, The Patrick Star Show. It's not been airing long. Only a couple of months. It started airing just a few months ago. The Patrick Star Show. Some people are saying, the majority of people that have watched The Patrick Star Show, which I've actually tried to catch it, but for some reason, whenever I try and find it, I can't. Just to see if what it's like. And yes, it's another spin-off show. So not only did Stephen Hillenburg not ever want a spin-off show to happen for SpongeBob, we now have 2 that have aired in the same year. The Patrick Star Show, where it shows us what Patrick's life is like, quite different to anything that we've ever seen him do before. So yeah, it's Nickelodeon again, wanting money. So they've decided to create a Patrick show. Now, the idea of a spin-off show where Patrick is the main character and not SpongeBob does sound like an interesting idea. it's just they've only done it because for money, and they also defied the wishes of the creator of the show, who of course tragically did pass away 3 years ago. But what makes no sense is Patrick's family in this show, right? The Patrick's family in the Patrick Star Show are just completely new characters. We met Patrick's parents in SpongeBob briefly at the end of the episode where SpongeBob pretends to be as dumb as Patrick is. And then we have the episode where Patrick's big sister, Sam, comes to visit. So we've met Patrick's parents and sister already, yet here in the Patrick Star Show, nope, we've got brand new parents, and now Patrick suddenly has a little sister instead of a big sister. Just completely changing Patrick's family. Which means, so what was the point in introducing his family members within SpongeBob if we were just gonna change? You were just gonna change them and just create new characters instead of picking the characters you already had, because at least if you did that, that would have kept some continuity within the show between SpongeBob and the Patrick Star Show. But no, we couldn't even do that one right. And apparently, this isn't even the end. Apparently, there are more SpongeBob spin-off shows to come in the future. I've heard, I think there's one that's where Squidward is the main character, which again, sounds like an interesting idea, because Squidward is literally the most relatable character in the whole show. But, you know they're only doing it for money. Like none of this would even be a problem if all of these things went against what Stephen Hillenburg had wanted for the show. But simply because he didn't want these things to happen, and they have happened, but Nickelodeon literally waited for him to pass away before doing it, really shows how sneaky they are. Like, who knows how long they've been planning to do a SpongeBob spin-off series. Who knows how long they've been planning it. And as soon as Stephen Hillenburg passed away, they knew no one's going to stop them. Because the only person that had a say in stopping that from happening was Stephen Hillenburg. So now they have free control to do whatever they want. And they've absolutely taken that opportunity and ran with it, and they're still running with it now. But yeah, the title says it all. It's Nickelodeon's greed, they want more money, and disrespect towards Stephen Hillenburg by going against things he said in pursuit of that greed. So that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please be sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Tell me in the comments if you agree with me and that everything I've explained that Nickelodeon have done over the past few years since Stephen Hillenburg's passing really shows the type of company that Nickelodeon can be at times. But until next time, catch you later.